Sometimes the world is a cruel place. Sometimes it snows in May. And when that happens, you might just want to escape into the world of books. I've got a few today that are perfect for just that. Let's check it out. Hi there, I'm Michelle with the Goffstown Public Library, where I'm an adult services librarian. My job is to bring the information you want or need to you when you want or need it. And even though I'm not physically in the library today, I hope I can do just that, which is why I'm coming to you for the 6th episode of Book Talk with Michelle. Today, we're talking about books with worlds to get lost in. When I think of universes to lose myself in, I'm thinking of the science fiction and fantasy genres. Sometimes these stories get a bad rap as too childish or too nerdy, basically not literary enough. This may be because the defining works of the genre were ones we loved as kids. Harry Potter and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings were likely important parts in your childhood. But as an adult, science fiction and fantasy can mean something to us too. The far out and the fantastical can teach us something about our present moment and offer escape when reality is just too crushing. There are so many wonderful science fiction and fantasy books available through the library. I've picked out only a few today, but each are great introductions to their genre. I knew I wanted to talk about The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern when talking about worlds to get lost in, because there's something about this book that makes you just want to take your time. It's set in a 20th century circus where main characters Celia and Mark are embroiled in a tale of greed and fate and love. They've been trained since childhood for a fierce competition of imagination and will that will play out on the stage of the circus. Both are magicians, both are supremely talented, and both are hopelessly in love with each other. At every turn of this book, magic creates breathtaking amazements. It's been described as a feast for the senses, and I completely agree. The prose in this book is probably the true magic. I'm left wanting to luxuriate on every page. I mean, what I wouldn't give to spread apart the black and white striped tent and enter the world of the Night Circus. Reading this book reminds me of the experience of reading Harry Potter for the first time as a child. Phrases like wide-eyed wonder do a little to capture the, magic that is falling off every page. This book could be wonderful for readers of romance or of historical fiction. If you liked The Circus of Water for Elephants, you'll swoon for The Night Circus. The Night Circus also makes me think of movies like The Illusionist and The Prestige, so if you liked those, this might be a good one to try. You can find The Night Circus as an audiobook and as an ebook on both Overdrive and Cloud Library. Switching over to science fiction, the perfect introduction to the genre is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is my go-to recommendation for readers who are looking to just get acquainted with the final frontier. As a librarian, it's not uncommon for me to recommend books I haven't read. I'll usually rely on reputation and review until I can read it myself, which was the case for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for a long time. But this month I finally read it, and it lived up to every single one of its accolades. In the book, second before the Earth is destroyed to make room for an intergalactic highway, Arthur Dent is plucked from the planet by his alien friend, Ford Prefect. Through improbable coincidences, the pair end up traveling the galaxy and learning the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Hitchhiker's Guide is the classic zany escapism. This is the perfect match for fans of Doctor Who, Kurt Vonnegut, or Terry Pratchett. This book had me laughing at the first page, and I just had this big old smile on my face when I read through it. My only criticism is that it was over far too soon. But if you find that to be the case, don't worry, there is a whole series waiting for you. And you can find most of it on Cloud Library and Overdrive. Plus, this is the perfect time to read The Hitchhiker's Guide. Hulu has recently announced they're going to be adapting it into a television series for their streaming platform. Speaking of TV series, my next recommendation is Over the Garden Wall, an animated television series that originally aired on Cartoon Network. The television series and the graphic novels that accompany it follow brothers Greg and Wirt as they travel across the unknown, a magical forest as lost in time as the brothers are lost in it. The tone of Over the Garden Wall is familiar. You know this story. Young children lost in a fantastical land who meet odd characters and danger along the way. It's Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz and the Brothers Grimm. Now don't get me wrong, Over the Garden Wall is an original story, but it just has a way of making you feel at home within the world. If you're from New England, Over the Garden Wall invokes the same kind of familiar nostalgia that crisp autumn air and the smell of apple cider and the sound of phonograph music evokes. This television series really taps the heart of American storytelling and gives birth to either a complex story about coming of age and life after death, or a fun romp about following a frog and returning a rock. Both storylines are equally compelling, just as both the television series and the graphic novels are worth your time. I would recommend watching the television series first to get a good grasp about what's going on. Trust me, the soundtrack alone is worth it. You can find both the graphic novels and the animated series available on Hoopla. And the last book I want to share with you is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I was on the fence about including this particular book in this particular video because I wanted to choose stories that you could escape into and forget your troubles. The virtual reality world inside Ready Player One, the Oasis, offers that same kind of escape. But throughout the novel, our protagonist Wade learns that he needs to confront the systemic ills in his real society, and that the constant escapism into the Oasis may be doing more harm than good. So, like I said, it was a tricky inclusion here. But gosh, what a world the Oasis is to escape into. That digital universe is imaginative and expansive. Every locale is astonishing. Plus, the adventure, the quest that Wade is on, had me tearing through pages. I just couldn't put this book down. Even if you've seen the movie, it's definitely worth reading now. They're very different. And I find the book more compelling for how one young person can take a stand against a giant system and change the world for the better. While this book might not let you escape all of the troubles of the world, it definitely offers a glimpse into an unbelievable universe. If you're looking for a fast-paced adventure, definitely give this book a try. You'll absolutely love it if you have any 80s nostalgia, if you have a love for video games, or if you yearn to see big businesses get what's coming to them. You could read or listen to this book on Overdrive and Cloud Library. And if none of these titles suit your fancy, you may want to revisit a classic. Books like Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, Peter Pan by J. M. Barrie, and Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson are all just as compelling for adults as they are for children. And if you think you know the stories because of the popular movies, you just might be surprised. The Wizard of Oz especially has some tricks up its sleeve. Classics like this are available through many platforms like Hoopla, Cloud Library, Overdrive, and also the Internet Archive and Project Gutenberg. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that right now, Hoopla is offering Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone free with your library card with no holds and no waiting. That means anytime you go over there to check it out, it'll be available for you to read or listen. If you haven't read the book that started the 7-book series and the movie Empire, what are you waiting for? It's the perfect escapist entertainment. And like I said, you can find that on Hoopla. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this list of books that you can get lost in. What universes have you been diving into? Let us know in those comments. I know I'm really excited to see what you suggest, and our audience loves those recommendations. Any book I mentioned today are listed in the description, along with information about Goffstown Public Library's downloadable services. All you need is your library card to start accessing some awesome digital content. Like and share if you got something out of this video, and don't forget to subscribe. There's great content waiting for you, like book talks for all ages, story times, how-tos, crafts, and more. I'll see you back here next Saturday for another episode of Book Talk with Michelle. In the meantime, you can connect with the Goffstown Public Library on our social media for even more book recommendations. Or visit goffstownlibrary.com to check out what's in the catalog yourself. Again, I'm Michelle with the Goffstown Public Library, and I'll check you out later. Bye!